welcome to the latest video from the Alfabs group. In this video, we're going to tell you about the Alfabs Poo Pod underground toilet. The Alfabs Poo Pod is innovative in design. It eliminates the need for pumping out, and it also eliminates the need for staff to be handling human waste. Over the next coming minutes, we're going to show you how to use, maintain, and set up an Alfabs Poo Pod in your underground line. Let's get started. What is a poo pod? A poo pod is an underground, self-contained biological toilet. It works via an air pump, actozyme, and evaporation. Under normal mining conditions and when maintained, there is no odour and there is no pumping out required. Required maintenance is as little as 5 minutes once per week. Setting up your poo pod. Step 1. Place the poo pod in your desired location, ensuring that it is level. The poo pod has built-in fork time pockets for ease of transportation. Use timber packing to level the poo pod. If the poo pod isn't level, it may not work efficiently. Step 2. Ensure drain valves are closed on the rear of the poo pod. These same valves can be opened to empty the contents of the poo pod if and when you need to do so. Step 3. Remove the securing nut on the inspection hatch, being careful not to misplace the nut. Open the inspection hatch, revealing the inside of the poo pod. Step 4. Through the inspection hatch, fill the poo pod with water to within 25 to 50 millimeters of the bottom of the black plastic insert below the seat. Step 5. Once the poo pod has been filled with water, take the water line and connect it to the tap above the sink. Once connected and secured, test the tap to ensure the correct water pressure has been set. Step 6. Attach a compressed air line to the poo pod. The compressed air line should be supplying between 65 and 100 psi of pressure to run the pump. Step 7. Once the air line is connected to the poo pod and air is flowing, you will need to make some adjustments to the airflow. This is done via the regulator at the rear of the toilet seat and also the valves underneath the inspection hatch. You will need to make adjustments in both locations until you can see a constant flow of water running over the black plastic insert inside the toilet seat, and also some bubbles, not too many, inside the main tank of the toilet. Step 8. This is where you add 1 bottle or 500 ml of Alfabs Activezyme Plus into the main tank of the toilet. This is the ingredient that creates the biological environment. Step 9. You now nearly finished setting up your poo pod. It's now time to close the inspection hatch and replace the locking nut. Step 10, and the last step to setting up your poo pod. Sit and enjoy the poo pod for the first time. It's important that the poo pod is used within the first 24 hours to keep the Actazyme Plus working. Okay, let's move on to maintaining your poo pod. Poo pod maintenance is carried out generally on a weekly basis, depending on usage. There's just a few simple steps to take each time to keep your poo pod working correctly. Step 1. Open the inspection hatch. Step 2. Check and assess the water level and condition. Step 3. Check and assess the air and water flow. Step 4. Add Actazyme Plus when necessary. Step 5. Top up the water to within 25 to 50 millimeters of the insert when necessary. Step 6. Clean or hose down the exterior of your poo pod. You can also use the Alfabs Actazyme based double action surface cleaner and air freshener if desired. Step 7. Close the inspection hatch back up. And Step 8. Restock poo pod consumables such as EcoSoft toilet paper and hand wash. Now let's have a look at each of these steps a little bit more closely. Step 1. Open the inspection hatch, and remember, be careful not to misplace the nut. Step 2. Check and assess the level and condition of the water in the poo pod. The water level should be within 25 to 50 millimeters of the bottom of the black plastic insert, whilst the condition of the water should be free from odour and free from foam. We will go over some troubleshooting tips later on in the video. Step 3. Check and assess the air and water flow in the poo pod. To do this, you'll need to open the toilet lid and have a look to ensure that there is enough water flowing over the black plastic insert to clear any debris that is left on the bottom of the insert. You'll also need to look inside the tank and ensure that there is some movement of the water inside without too much movement that there's foaming. You may need to adjust the regulator behind the toilet seat or the valves underneath the inspection hatch. Step 4. Adding Alfabs Actazyme Plus to your poo pod. Actazyme Plus is the agent that makes the biological toilet work. It also includes anti-foam to stop the toilet from foaming over. Through the inspection hatch on the top of your poo pod, you'll add 1 bottle or 500 ml of Actazyme Plus to the tank in the poo pod. On average, this is carried out on a fortnightly basis or as needed. This will depend on the maintenance, the usage, and the quality of the water inside the poo pod. Step 5. Topping up the water in your poo pod to within 25 to 50 millimeters of the bottom of the black insert. You'll top up the water via the inspection hatch. Due to evaporation in the underground environment, you'll notice that each week the poo pod should need topping up with water. Step 6. Cleaning and hosing down the exterior of your poo pod. Now, depending on the usage and the location of your poo pod will depend on how dirty and how much cleaning is required. As you'll see in the footage here, this poo pod is not only getting hosed down, but we're using the double action cleaner, which is the Actazyme based cleaner, which is really important to note because if you use a bleach or a disinfectant, it'll kill the Actazyme inside the toilet and it won't work properly anymore. So if you're going to use a surface spray, you'll need to use the Alfabs double action Actazyme based cleaner. So you'll see that we're using the Actazyme based cleaner here, and we're also scrubbing the toilet with a brush, and then we're giving it a really good hose off. Once it's finished being hosed off, so it's ready to use again, we recommend using some toilet paper to wipe the seat down so it's nice and dry for someone ready to use. If you do use a rag, it's important to take the rag away with you because rags cannot be used in the toilet. It'll block up the pump. So once it's hosed down and it's wiped down, it'll then be ready to use. Step 7, and we're almost done. Just close the inspection hatch back up and secure it with the nut again. And step 8 is restocking the consumables at the Poo Pod with things such as toilet paper and hand wash. And that's how easy maintaining your Poo Pod is. Let's move on. Okay, before we finish our video on the Alfabs Poo Pod, let's go through a little bit of troubleshooting. We won't include everything in this video. There is documents available that we can send you which outlines troubleshooting in a little more detail, but let's just go through some of the basics. Here we go. If the Poo Pod smells, the air line may be disconnected or even just turned off, so check the air supply running into the Poo Pod. The pump inside the Poo Pod may be blocked with rag or hand towel. Try removing the pump to see if there's any blockages and try to clear them. Maybe there hasn't been enough Actazyme Plus added to the toilet. The toilet could be overloaded, meaning there could be too many users. You may need to put another toilet in the area if it's getting used a lot. Or the air valves and or the regulators could be malfunctioning. Check the settings on the air regulator and the valves. If they're broken, you may need to replace them. The next thing, the Poo Pod is foaming up. There could be too much air pressure or flow entering the Poo Pod, so again, check the air valves and regulator to ensure they're adjusted correctly. And secondly, there hasn't been enough Actazyme Plus added. This also contains an anti-foam, so you may need to add some more of the Actazyme Plus, and that could keep the foaming down. Now, those two are the most common problems that you'll have with the Poo Pod, if at all. There is other problems that can be troubleshot, and that information is available, so please contact us and we can send you out some documentation. Poo Pod accessories. Alfabs offer a privacy screen to use in conjunction with the Alfabs Poo Pod. The privacy screen is very sturdy in design and its manufacture. It's made out of steel and it has very minimal bolts and hinges to put it together. It takes around 15 minutes to assemble or disassemble and will take 2 people. The privacy screen is very good for use if you've got both male and female workers in your underground mine. It features a locking door and it even features a couple of hooks where you can hang your belt, helmet, cap lamp, etc. For more information on the privacy screen, feel free to drop us a line. Okay, Alfabs supply all the consumables needed to be used with the Poo Pod, including Actazyme Plus, double action cleaner, EcoSoft toilet paper, alcohol-free hand sanitizer, and all spare parts. Alright guys, that concludes our video on the Alfabs Poo Pod. I hope you all found it informative. I hope you've all decided now that you need to use these in your underground mine. I'm going to finish off now just with a little bit of product information on the next coming slide of other things that the Alfabs Group have to offer. And remember, if you need any information or a quote on any of the products we've discussed in the video or anything that follows, please don't hesitate to contact one of our wonderful Alfabs reps on details to follow. Thanks again and stay tuned for some more videos.